The Ghana-Canada Partnership for Environmental Education, funded by the Canadian International Development Agency and the Association of Canadian Community Colleges, was initiated in 2006 and ended in 2011. This project involved a series of partnerships between Vancouver Island University in Canada, Sunyani Polytechnic, KNUST Faculty of Forest Resources Technology, and the Brong-Ahafo Research and Extension Center, a registered NGO created through this project, all of which are located in Ghana. The project provided opportunities for both faculty and students from Canada to travel to Ghana, as well as Ghanaian faculty and students traveling to Canada.
It's around capacity building to do what we in Canada would call extension work. In other words, moving information from the university in meaningful ways to communities who could best use this kind of information.
The project involved 4 thematic areas, which were HIV/AIDS and malaria, waste management, bushfire reduction, and tourism development. Through knowledge mobilization activities, information was shared, building capacity among institutional project partners, who would then interact with communities in the Brong-Ahafo region of Ghana, helping address community needs. Through this project, individuals have been positively impacted.
Hands down, it's about learning. Learning about myself, learning about Ghana, learning about the culture, learning about the issues.
All the components have really worked well, especially with the knowledge transfer component of the whole project. But that is what has really developed us and has brought us together as one family, one people, where we learn from each other. We learn the good ones from each other and then integrate it into our different cultural settings.
Everybody, whether Canadian faculty, Canadian students, Ghanaian faculty, Ghanaian students, when we meet, we work in unison, and that enables the project to progress.
It was my first time being on a trip at all, so it was all really wide open for me because I had never flown before. I had never been east of the Rockies before, and it was just a huge explosion of all these different experiences and people and just doing everything I can. So it was a big learning experience.
If it wasn't for the project, I probably wouldn't have come to Ghana, and then definitely would not have stayed here and lived here after the project finished. So to me, it's really about the people that I've been able to work with, and that's what I love.
It's those relationships. That's what has so enriched my life, and I think when I've had debriefings with students after I've went in 2008, 2009 and again in 2010, was the relationships that students formed with the people that they met there.
I really enjoyed the cross-cultural experience. It's one thing to learn about other cultures from textbooks, but to actually be in a place-based setting, the learning is so much deeper and richer, and there was no greater way than to learn about the challenges faced by developing countries than to actually be in the developing country and see firsthand what it is that their experience is and what their realities are.
It was academics to academics, students to students. That's where our strength resided. It was the partnerships and relationships that we've built with Sunyani Polytechnic and the FFRT campus of KNUST. I think that our ability to share resources and knowledge and build lasting, enduring relationships is proving fruitful.
What I think has really worked well is the capacity building for both faculty and students. Faculty that have been on the project have really learned a lot, especially with the cultural assimilation piece, because they've had the opportunity to study from a different culture, study from a developed country, how to really teach and teach effectively. And some of us who are still students and study from some of this faculty really see the change over time.
The project allowed both faculty and students to participate in workshops in Canada and Ghana. These workshops included instructional skills workshops, also known as an ISW, and competency-based training.
I came back and I have actually managed to develop some models which I'm using in teaching. And I even plan to involve my other colleagues who haven't had that opportunity also to accept the use of such models, and I'm sure it will help the whole department as a whole.
Through the project, I had the opportunity to do an ISW, and with my orientation and with the little activities I do outside school, that is extension activity and community work during vacations, it's really been an impact because I really learned how to instruct and how to make people learn and how to learn through people as well. So the ISW has been one of the major impacts I have received on the project.
The project gives students the opportunity to take on leadership roles and to advance their careers.
I'm no more a student. I'm now working with the project as a full-time employee of the project.
Through the project, after getting to understand how I need to be responsible, I had a vision that, okay, then what can we students do? So if we are preaching and educating people about environmental stewardship, therefore there must be an activist, and I happen to be the activist. With the help of other students, we initiated and then formed a club called Environmental Solutions and then funded it.
I'm the president of the Environmental Solutions Club, and through the club we've been able to impact positively on surrounding schools and communities as we go to do our field exercises as a club. And I use some of the skills that I have obtained with working on the Ghana Partnership for Environmental Education to help benefit other people.
Initially, I wasn't much conscious about managing the environment, but now through this environmental club and Ghana-Canada partnership of environmental education, now I'm much conscious as to where to dispose solid waste and some basic things to keep my environment very clean.
The project provided students the opportunity to conduct research based on their personal interests.
But because of this particular project, I was able to embark on a comprehensive research, which I did by myself, moved down to the community, asked them their views on issues. After that, I compiled everything and made my own analysis. So I think that it has had a lot of influence on me as a student and as a patriotic citizen of this country.
But I would say the biggest impact is that it's changed my trajectory as far as where I want to continue doing research and study. And I'm really interested now, because of the experience, in community-based conservation and working with people at the community level to achieve conservation goals.
So wherever I find myself in, and that institution or that organization or any that community is involved in some kind of research, I'll use that experience that I've gathered to help them with the research analysis, and then also help them to carry out their research and then extension activities.
It has had a very great impact on me, being in the sense that at first I was very, very shy to stand in front of people to do a presentation, but now I stand as bold as nothing else. Even before coming here, I was doing a presentation at my class, and I felt so confident and so bold to do it. So due to this project, I've been so bold, being able to build my confidence level, and I can present wherever I go in the whole world without any fear or shyness.
We raise our kids differently. Our family's different because of the project. And let me say that, I used to think very strongly that as an effective parent in Canada, you're supposed to help your child become as independent as possible, make their way. The project in Ghana has made me understand and realize that the collectivist culture, the community around family, has a role to play here in Canada.
Ultimately, what we wanted to do was to build capacity and to have sustainability of the projects. And so I think having the Brong-Ahafo Research and Extension Centre, which is called BARIC, has been one of the great legacies to the community, because when you're trying to overcome poverty, what you want to do is to look at how the strengths of that community and what's working well, and so that they can keep doing what's working well.
Ghana, or our country, is heading towards the right direction.
The The Ghana-Canada Partnership for Environmental Education impacted the lives of many individuals and has built enduring relationships. Many project participants are still in collaboration and are continuing to work together on additional projects within Ghana.